The Gutey speaks in Indy, and he had, I'm pleased to report, more to say than I was expecting. Edition. And maybe even some clues about the futures of a handful of players. Edition. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It means we get to talk to our buddy Bryan Bulaga, who grew up in Chicagoland, but not where the Bears are headed, of Hammond, Indiana. Edition. And I can't wait to find out what our non-gendered reviewer, what are we calling this creature again? We're just calling it ChatGPT. Thought of our show yesterday.
Our little friend.
Edition. Say hello to my little friend. Edition of Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need in the ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson's in the Overlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, where he was for Jim, Matt, and Molly last night. That was an unexpected surprise.
Grinder. Always working.
React Wednesday.
You got no WIAC game
and
to go
not
to tonight, so
a couple coming up.
Got to make up for it.
Can't wait when we make that announcement.
One of those big announcements.
You tell me. We're ready to do it. You tell me.
Well, we should do it on our show
Tell
then.
us now.
Well, can I introduce you first? And he's the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Hi, Mark.
So what? Don't call me Mark. So what surprised you, or why were you so surprised about what happened yesterday? You said a couple things surprised me.
Yeah, not as surprised as apparently. I thought you were getting. Sorry, I thought you wanted the announcement. I wasn't expecting you to then pivot back.
He already announced it. My point was he already announced it. He's already said it. He's put it up on the screen so that we don't need to make another announcement.
Well, not everybody watches the show on YouTube, though.
No, everybody does. Everybody watches it every day.
We're not on the air. We're not on the radio at all anymore. No one listens in their car.
I disagree. Everybody hears it and sees it and watches it. So I disagree with you.
Okay.
So what surprised you yesterday?
He entertained the possibility of Rashawn Gary not being on the roster for one, which I did not see coming. Because, what he says is, well, he's under contract, so I expect him to be here. That's his line. That's kind of like his signature line when it comes to those guys. And instead, it was, well, if he's here, I didn't expect that from him. He said what we thought all along, and I am surprised, not by Gutey, but by fans who thought that they pushed Rich Bisaccia out. Because he made it very clear they were blindsided by him deciding to step down. Now, again, is it possible that it was kind of like trading Kenny Clark, where no, Rich, are you sure you want to do this? I suppose that's possible, but again, for fans that wanted Rich Bisaccia out, and we heard you. You are seen, not as seen as we are on video, apparently, where everyone
for the record,
consumes the show.
For the record, I was one of those fans.
Yeah, that's true. For the record, you were.
I wanted a new special.
Yep.
I said, hey, culture coordinate all you want. You love him in the building, great. I want somebody else leading special teams. I was crystal clear about that. Continue.
Yeah. But the idea that they pushed him out, or this was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, he's stepping down scenario, again, I can't say 1,000%. Gutey could be lying, I guess. But it sure sounded to me like he caught them unawares by deciding to step down 38 days after the season had ended.
How does that happen? How in all seriousness, how can that happen?
Well, what do you mean?
How can you get blindsided? You're in the building with him every day. You talk about what's going on. You sit with them and have exit interviews. You have meetings. Now, obviously, health things can always prop up. Didn't sound like that was the case. If I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you about what we're doing in May and in June, and you don't give me any inkling, and then all of a sudden you come on the show tomorrow and say, oh, yeah, boys, I'm taking another advance. I'm taking somewhere else. I'm a deuces bee. I feel like I missed something, or I'm out of it. You're talking about someone you've been in the building with 4 years, you're spending all this time with. How do you get blindsided like that? Now, how does that happen?
You make a very good point, but I presume he just, they took. I know that all the coaches
It's not how these guys work, man. They have other stuff lined up. That's just typically not how this works. It's not.
And
30 years.
Among the things that Gutey also said was that he expects Rich Bisaccia to coach again, but that's really a question for Rich. But he was very, again, I had heard rumblings that he was considering going back to college football. I don't know where he's headed or what he's got going on. I have not heard back from him. But to your point, it's a really good point about the idea of how did no one see this coming? Now, you know how we were cracking jokes about how Matt LaFleur stayed in Arizona after his brother got the Cardinals job? Mm-hmm. My understanding is the entire staff had a week or 10 days or 2 weeks, whatever it was, off during that window.
They had 38 days off?
Well, no, they didn't have 38 days off. Okay. But
so 14. So you still had 25 days.
Again, I don't know if after they had completed all their after-season stuff and then they got that time off, if Rich Bisaccia is on some sort of island, in a Speedo, walking around in the waves, and he's thinking about, I really don't want to live in Green Bay anymore, or I don't want to coach in the NFL. I don't know. This is, again, why it would be nice to talk to him. And I know I'm not the only one who's been trying to get a hold of him. But, again, I don't know when this... It would be great to have him take us through his thought process. But you make a good point. Did he just keep this under wraps, even though he was thinking about it? I don't know. You tell me if there's coaches. How often do coaches step down in general? I mean, you talk about how the NFL retires players. You either get fired
or they get promoted.
Right. So I don't know how many times this even happened.
Outside of being a head coach, he's at the highest level you're going to be at. You're the assistant head coach and the head of the special teams unit.
Right.
Something smells fishy here. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's just the tide rolled in, but it smells fishy. And I don't know. My guess and what I predicted and what I thought when I was trying to get you to dig in with your insider intel, it felt probably to me like as you're going through things, there comes a time where maybe a head football coach will say, we need to do this different, we need to do this different, we need, whether it's staff changes, whether it's, we want to do schematic changes. And if you strip down somebody's foundation to the point where they don't recognize it, that's where you start looking at it and saying, maybe this isn't the right fit. Maybe my time here has come. And Rich has been around long enough that does happen to coaches. You're not going to do this. If you're a 44-year-old coach and you got 3 young kids at home and you're trying to make a living and all this other stuff, it's a whole different animal than when you're a 60-some-odd-year-old dude who's been there, done that, and has everything he needs and can kind of run his own pace. But, this idea that you're blindsided with your staff as a Green Bay Packer, I don't like it. I don't like the optics of it, and I don't like where it's at. Even though it's the result that I was looking for, it should have been, we're going to do this. This is the road we're going down, and we want Rich to be culture coordinator, whatever it is, because it does feel like, they said, well, the bad news is, you didn't get your pick of the litter, but now we don't have to rush our decision. I don't know if that's ever a great.
Yeah, I didn't find that credible.
I'm not sure if that's a great consolation prize. So the bottom line is, I'm fine with the overall result. I don't like the storyline and how we got there.
I think that's fair. So since we don't know what Rich Bisaccia's thought process was, do you think the most credible theory, and again, this is pure theory, is that they came to him with some, hey, we want to do some things differently on special teams, which is his area of expertise, and he said, okay, sure, yeah, let's talk about it when I get back from Barbados. And then while he spent those few weeks reflecting, he decided, you know what?
Is Barbados a U.S. property?
I don't know. That was just, it sounded like a beachy place to go.
Okay.
The Bahamas. I don't know. Where do you want him to go? Maybe he went to Italy. He's Italian.
I wouldn't go to Puerto Vallarta. I know that, allegedly.
When we were in Belize, the guy on the little thing when we were on our cruise, he said, have an unbelievable day.
That's clever.
Yeah, you
good.
Like that.
Good marketing for Belize. Yeah.
Who
That's
runs
right
Belize?
up your alley.
Is that a U.S. deal?
No.
Well, who runs it?
The Belizean people.
It's its own place.
I feel like,
you mean who runs it?
I feel like when you're going on vacation in today's day and age, you probably want to have a general idea of that. But maybe I'm wrong. Continue.
Be that as it may, do you think that that's a credible theory, that he then went to whatever exotic vacation destination he may have gone to, thought about it and said, all right, blank these guys. If they want to have me make changes, I'm going to make a change. I'll go do something else.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like this is a Rich Bisaccia. I'm kind of worn out, and I need to take beats. It sounds like he's jumping into something else.
Yeah,
and maybe it's a whole different venture. Maybe he's getting into Keno,
crypto,
or the lotteries, or I don't know. I don't know what Rich is into. Maybe he's getting into music. Maybe he wants to be a pianist. Yeah, maybe he wants to get into baseball. I don't know what he's going to get into.
Assistant to the traveling secretary.
Feel like he does not want to be with the Green Bay Packers no more. And something, it went from he was happier than a clam to that, and it seems like it was pretty quick change. So I'll be fascinated when he gets a new job, whatever he's doing, if somebody can speak with him.
Yeah.
Or if Matt LaFleur, when and if he speaks to you guys, if we'll find out some of these breadcrumbs that maybe were led that we didn't see or hear. Because this just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often. And I don't know why it did happen the way it did.
Well, we will continue to I have, again, made an effort to talk to Rich. I have not succeeded. I will continue those efforts. I hope he gets a job at a college nearby within driving distance, and I'll go to his press conference if he has one.
Oh, is he thinking about coaching at St. Norbert's or something?
That would be great. That would be a very short commute. I know. I know that he plans on coaching again, based on what Gutey said and what other people have said. So this is not a retirement, which was very clear from the phraseology of his announcement. But I don't know what's next for him, but I would like to know why it played out the way it did. And he tended to be a pretty straight shooter when we talked to him. So if you flat out ask him, hey, 38 days, why did this can you take us through the process?
Here's the deal. To me, he's like Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. I think you get him up on that stand, he's going to tell you what you got to get it out of him.
Great parallel.
But he ain't going to let you bully ball. Like he is going to tell you what he thinks, and he might incriminate himself. He might do whatever it's going to be. He's going to tell you about the code red. He's going to tell you what happened in Barbados. He's going to tell you why, and then he's going to sit back and he's going to say, I'm getting out of here. And they're like, no. We need more. We're going to put you in the old clinkster. We're going to lock you up. We're going to go. He's the Jack Nicholson of this coaching staff.
It's a great parallel. And for those of you who haven't seen A Few Good Men,
not as good as my airplane deal with yesterday, but airlines, but pretty good today. Not bad.
I'm sorry. The
airline monopoly and the way the Packers, it's very similar. That was a lot better. The fact you two poo-pooed it the way you did is, I don't want to say it's criminal, because it's not, but it's close to criminal. What's criminal adjacent? Because that's what that was.
Conspiracy. Conspiratorial.
No, it's not no, it's not that. That's not the word I'm looking for. Criminal adjacent.
There's a lot of
Our homes need to be ready for just about anything in Wisconsin when they need to be year-round. That's why Pella focuses on quality and durability in everything they do. The right windows and doors can vastly improve your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. And with Pella, you will get expert recommendation designed around your home, your needs, and within your budget. Don't miss out. 0% financing for up to 4 years. That offer ends. Boy, this month has flown by. Son of a gun. February always flies by for whatever reason, and this year it's faster than ever. You got 3 days left to do that. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. I'm going to ask Jason a few questions about Rashawn. What's up, Thigh Master? Hey, who was the gal that did Thigh Master?
Suzanne Summers.
You're now the
Suzanne
Thigh
Summers.
Master. You are the opposite of Suzanne Summers. You are the Thigh Master, where you should be the Thigh Master. All right, I won't do it.
No, go ahead. You already started.
I
Go
can't live
ahead.
with you being the Thigh Master. You're such a baby. Baby Thigh Master.
It's such
Put
a
that up,
dramatic
Jesse.
sigh whenever he does it too. It's
Oh my God!
So over
You
the
would have
top.
thought that I stole his dog, or that I left as a special teams coordinator 4 years in after 38 days and didn't give you a break. That's what you would have thought I did right there. Well, I'm curious what Jason heard from Gutey that makes him believe he has the answer to whether or not Rashawn Gary is going to be on this roster next year. I'm curious. I want to hear more, and I want to hear from Jason next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All day, every day. The Cardless Talk and Text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Cardless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Tax refund season is here, but at Cunis, you don't need your tax refund to get a great ride. Right now, during the Cunis Keep Your Refund event, you don't have to spend your tax refund to drive something you'll love. Why? Because Cunis has added a huge selection of over 1,200 affordable pre-owned vehicles available right now across 3 Milwaukee area locations. That's Oak Creek Buick GMC, Greenfield Buick GMC, and Hope Chevrolet. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, all mix and models, and all priced to fit your budget, so you can hang on to your refund for the things that matter most. Pay down bills, take a trip, start a project, spend your refund how you want. With over 1,200 affordable vehicles, chances are the perfect one is waiting for you without touching your tax refund. Shop Cunis Oak Creek Buick GMC, Greenfield Buick GMC, and Hope Chevrolet today. The Keep Your Refund event, only at Cunis. Start your search at CunisMKE.com.
In healthcare, change is constant. Fifth Third Bank helps organizations navigate that change with local expertise and comprehensive financial solutions. From capital structure optimization to revenue cycle support and commercial payment tools, Fifth Third empowers sustainable growth. For nearly 20 years, the Milwaukee team has partnered with healthcare and not-for-profit organizations, building trusted, long-term relationships. Experience the difference only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN.
We'll talk to Bryan Bulaga shortly, but let me answer Tausch's questions first. So here are the two things, and this was during a private session, not the podium time that he did at the Indiana Convention Center. Gutey talked for about 45 minutes with reporters from Wisconsin that were in Indianapolis yesterday.
I like when he does that. I like that.
Yeah.
A little soiree with the Wisconsin folks. I like that.
Yeah, I do too. So here's the first thing he said. Quote, 60 pressures, which again, I don't know where that, what statistical location that comes from, because it's different. Sure. There's some different numbers from different outlets. 60 pressures, 7.5 sacks. That's tough to replace. He's on our roster, and I expect him to play at that level or higher if he's back next year. And we'll see how that goes. Okay? He does not usually say that. He does not usually say if he's back next year about a guy who's on under contract.
Yeah, it's like if your kids ask you for something and you say maybe or I'll think about it. It typically means that it's not going to go the direction that they're looking for.
Right.
That's how I would look at it.
I would agree. But then, and again, I don't know what his thought process was. It's possible that Gutey was like, oh, shoot, I don't usually say that sort of thing. So Gary comes up again later in the session.
Did he go a little beep, 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 beep,
beep, beep, beep, beep, beep? If you're watching on YouTube, like all of our fans do, every single last one of them, I was backing up like a truck.
Jesse mentioned it on air, too. He talked about it. It wasn't just a graphic.
I hinted, but I never said it.
He never made the announcement.
I actually took a phone call after you said that from someone on who said, I have been with the show since its inception 10 years ago, and I've never watched it on YouTube. And my guy Jeff was really upset that he didn't want it. I told him what the announcement was.
I apologize to Jeff. I also thought Jesse commented on that and was pushing it, so that's on me. I did see the graphic numerous times. I thought Jesse also referred to it. So, listen, man, we started terrestrially. We're going to go terrestrially, and I want to continue to make sure we go to where our fans are, and if it's YouTube and it's terrestrially, I'm going to stick with terrestrially.
or streaming audio only in the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Yeah, whatever.
Or
podcasts. They love the podcasts.
Go where they are. Go everywhere. Absolutely.
We, the Wilde Tausch, we meet our fans where they are.
The battle we had with Spotify to
Whatever
get back
happened
there
to
for
the
everyone.
Thighmaster gal? Like, what happened? Is the Thighmaster
She passed
stuff,
away
is that
not
still,
that long ago, I
No,
think.
I know, but is it still? But is that still out there? Because
I
know
will
there's
say,
Pilates and everything else.
I will say I come across those at local thrift stores on a fairly regular basis, so I'm assuming that people make those purchases and then they just sort of sit there and they don't actually put them to good use. So
Well,
if you
about
need
it,
one,
actually for guys like us, where we sit for 3 hours or you stand, probably not a bad idea.
Yeah,
have a Thighmaster going.
Thighmasters for everybody. Including for Rashawn Gary, who needs to get in shape for next season when he's a member of the Packers, because this was the second thing Gutey said about him. Sometimes with pass rushers, there's some ebb and flow to that as far as production goes with sacks. He was impactful toward the second half of the season. Maybe not as much as he was in the first, but he was impactful. Rashawn's got all the talent in the world, and he's produced at a high level for us since he's been here. We expect that from him next year as well. All right, put on your Tausch translator hat. And a guy who had 0 sacks in the final 10 games of the season was still impactful, according to the general manager. He also has an $18 million base salary for next season. They have some young guys that they can certainly plug in if they so choose. His cap charge is $28 million as of today. What am I supposed to make of this from the old Gutnator?
I mean, I think if I'm a betting man, I would say he's not going to be on the football team next year, but I don't know where his market would be. I don't know how, that always is the case because he's not going to be back on this deal. I mean, I'd be very, very surprised. So what will happen is then you start, and that whole process is started when they've been down at the combine. They talk to people, and his representation will go about, and they'll have these discussions, and maybe there's a few teams that will say, well, we'd feel really comfortable $20 million a year. And then you have to make that decision, will Green Bay restructure? Because if you take a haircut, but you already have all this dead money that would be in play, maybe it would make more sense if you believe in the system, which, by the way, is brand new. So Gannon's going to have to be on board with what they're talking about with Rashawn, especially if they're going to restructure and pay him. Gutey knows what Rashawn Gary is at this point. And does anyone think that Rashawn Gary is going to elevate and be better? I would argue, I don't know if anybody feels that way. Now, Rashawn Gary could, get in the best shape of his life and come back and absolutely ball out. That'd be awesome. But I think Gutey is probably hedging here, and my guess is he'll be released probably and take on all of that cap hit for this year and be done with it moving forward, because I don't know if a restructure would make a ton of sense unless it was substantially lower than what it's looking at right now. And I don't know why Rashawn Gary would do that. I would think he'd want a fresh start.
So one of the options, and again, what have you taught us? A couple things. One, it's always about money. Two, look at what they do, not at what they say, right? Those are two Tausch lessons that we should always keep in mind on this program. So just because Gutey said what he said in that second quote that I read does not mean that that's, he'll be back next year. The other thing is the money. And again, I'm not a wagerer, but they also say don't throw good money after bad and don't chase that first $20 you lose. You could take his $18 million base salary and convert it to a signing bonus so you could spread the money out over future years. But isn't that throwing good money after bad? Guaranteeing him $18 million?
No, I mean, it all depends. You know, it's less. You'd end up restructuring for less than what it is. And, I mean, the stats, if those are the stats, and again, I am not going to sit here. I know he had 7.5 sacks. I know his play dropped off big time at the end of the season. Those are all negatives. But if you're getting 60 pressures and 7.5 sacks, there is a value to that. And it's a substantial value. And I know Packer fans don't want to hear that, but it is. If you're getting 7.5 sacks and 60 pressures from your edge, you're happy with that.
Yeah, on the Packers' own website, by the way, they have him for 48 pressures.
Yeah, I don't know where Gutey got that from, but he's saying it. And he's not making it up. He's got analytics people. I don't know why the Packers wouldn't use the same analytics people that Gutey's using, but that's up to them.
Indeed.
It's a private enterprise. They're allowed to make their own rules.
Like an airline.
Enterprise. You laugh, but it's true.
Is UW Credit Union a private enterprise? I don't know the rules there. I just know I'm a member.
I'm not going to get into all that, but what I do know is for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals, and they're going to work with you. They're not going to threaten. They're not going to do any of that. They're going to say, you know what, keep your banking local. I'm going to give you great member first service, and I'm going to give you great perks like early payday, and I have an app that's unbelievable. Very simple to use. And you know what? If you love Wisconsin like I do, you can't pay it with anything else. FanDuel will make you do crazy things, but boy, does this make sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Our guy Bryan Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Watch the Bucks for free with select games on broadcast TV all season long. CBS 58 and WMLW are the only place to find the Bucks over the air. With 8 select games you can watch for free. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our season tips off tonight at 7 against the Lakers on CBS 58.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
At Associated Bank, we get life gets complicated. So banking, it should be easy to get. That's why our tools speak your language. Automated savings, it's saving automatically for anything. Digital controls, you lose your card, you're still in control. Turn it off, then on, all on the app. And Money Monitor, you know where your money goes, like those long forgotten subscriptions. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
February means big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath makeover and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings, but only for a limited time during our February winter savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com now. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Wendy's has a new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mints cookie pieces, rich creamy frosty, and a mint chocolate cookie sauce. Which means Girl Scout Thin Mints and Wendy's Frosty, yeah, they're basically best friends now. It's like 2 delicious desserts just high-fived. snapped a few too many friendship selfies, and then rode a tandem bike down a never-ending road of mint chocolate frosty perfection. So, swing by Wendy's and try the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance. Because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
You know what that music means. God, I miss Famous Friends. But unfortunately, we're not paying the royalties on that.
I will sing that with Jesse.
Ah, duets. I love it. Well, I don't know how Bryan Bulaga will feel about that, but nevertheless, he joins us now. Are you a good singer? Do you have a good singing voice?
Not really.
What about you and Tausch doing a duet and Jesse plays the piano in accompaniment?
I'm in. Yeah, I'll do that.
Jesse?
I mean, I'll figure it out. I think it's more up to these two
What do you mean you
fellas.
figure it out? What do you mean you figure it out?
Tausch, I'm not a jukebox. I don't just know how to play every song that's ever existed. There's like a process.
You know
to
but
learning
you
the
can
song.
read. Hold up. You can read music. You can play the keyboard. You get the music from whoever wrote this, and you play it. It's like I can read Shakespeare, but I can't read Nietzsche. Like you can either read or you can't. Like what the hell are we talking about here?
I would just like to take this opportunity to compliment you, Jesse.
Can you read music, Jesse?
Yes.
I can't. I don't know what an eighth of a note, and I don't know what that means on the keyboard. I don't know. It's like you might as well splatter my brain. I can't get my head wrapped around it. You can read it.
Yeah,
I can't.
I'm not saying I won't be able to figure it out. I'm saying we can't do it like when we're done here in 30 minutes.
You think
I don't know how to play the song.
You think we do things right away? We
never do things right away around here. All right. I'm sorry. This is I thought it was a good idea, and I think it would be fun. He is our famous friend. He is Bryan Bulaga. Brian, music notwithstanding, I need your help with something. Look, you know ball. If we were to power rank the people who know ball on this panel, I would come in very far behind the two former greats right tackles. You will someday be joining Tausch in the Packers Hall of Fame. Youngest player ever to start a Super Bowl. So I understand. You guys, there's a Grand Canyon between your football knowledge and mine.
This is where Brian, he wants us to say, "Oh, Jason,
no, I really don't.
You know a lot too.
I really don't.
You understand this?
No, I really
Jason,
don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't.
Go ahead, Jason.
Woo!
Okay, I'm kidding.
No. So here's the thing. When I look at Rashawn Gary with my less trained eye, I'm not seeing it. I understand he's a first-round pick. I understand he was the number one recruit coming out of high school. I understand that they gave him a $96 million contract. I understand all those other things. When I watch him, I don't see a terrible player. Okay, let me be clear. I don't see a guy who I've seen enough guys that stink to say this guy stinks. I don't see that. I do see a guy that sometimes I wasn't sure about his efforts. Right? I saw times where people ran a lot faster after the ball carrier than him. I see a lack of production. I see a disparity between the number of pressures that Gutey says he had and the number of pressures that the Packers' own website has for him. And I look and I go, what am I not seeing that Brian Gutekunst is, that he is talking in some ways as if they will figure out a way to have him back, but not at a $28 million cap number. When you look at his body of work from last season, what do you see in Rashawn Gary?
Yeah, I mean, I think I see what everyone else sees, and that is major inconsistencies in output. Like, that to me is what, when I watch him play, that's what I see. And, he started off the season, it was like, you saw the way he started, and it was like, man, this could be like a kind of a resurgence and a turnaround year. He started off hot. Like, let's just call it what it is. He was very active. He was getting sacks. He was getting pressures, and he was very involved in the run game, and he looked really good. And then about from week, if I had to say, what was it, maybe week 7 on, it just kind of, the production just was gone. Like it wasn't there. Like, I don't know what. And then Enagbari stepped up his game, and his production went up, and Rashawn's went down. So, the things about effort and, chasing the ball carrier, I don't really like. You saw some things, I think, what game was it? Was it the Baltimore game, that a couple things that stood out? You're like, okay, that doesn't look normal like that. And maybe that was the entire defense, but you don't normally see that from your guys that are almost on $100 million contracts. But I don't really want to get into effort, because I can't say if he was giving full effort next, because I'm not him, right? Like, I'm not him. So I don't know if it wasn't. All I can talk about is the production and what the numbers say. And I don't know what number Gutey gave for pressures. I don't know what number that could have been.
He said 60. And then on the Packers stats that they use from Next Gen, 48. So
yeah,
again,
I mean, there's a disparity there. It's just, but I guess if pass rushers are getting paid only to get pressures, there's a lot of guys that should be getting paid like $21 million a year or something like that, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, the finished product has to be there too, and the production in the run game and the impact you make on that, right? Like, all those things have to tie in to have a cap number of $28 million and be kept on the roster or whatever it may be, right? So,
yeah,
I'm just, listen, I don't know what they're going to be able to work out to keep him, right? Like, I don't know what that looks like, because it sounds like there's a lot of contracts that they need to figure that out with, right? Like, it seems like there's quite a few of those that they need to figure out to keep a guy on the roster, and I'm not sure that's going to be the case. I'm just not. I don't know how possible that is. Guys are willing to play ball with that. Agents are willing to play ball with that. Like, it's not always that simple. But I know this, like, that defensive end position, obviously you have Micah Parsons, and he's obviously, I mean, there's not enough things you can say about him that are positive, and how he works and his effort and his technique and how he actually impacts the quarterback and the timing of routes and how he does he does everything. He's good in the run. He's good in the pass. He's good leadership. Like, he's everything, right? But at that defensive end position, you're most likely losing Enagbari. He's gone, right? Like, just call it what it is. Someone's going to pay him some good money to go rush the passer. That's my opinion.
Would you rather take whatever money you can save by moving on from Rashawn Gary? Because, again, if you were to release him, not only would you save cap money this year, but if you really wanted to do it, you could save even more by making it a post-June 1 cut and pushing some of the charges into next year. I don't know enough about where their cap is, whether that would be smart or not. But would you rather take the money that you could spend on keeping Rashawn Gary and pay J.J. Enagbare, Or do you think that he's an ascending player? This would be a second contract for him, and he doesn't have enough production where you would think he would get a ridiculous amount of interest on the open market. Would you rather use that money on him, or would you rather keep a guy that you're questioning why his production fell off the table the last 10 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I don't know what Enikbari's market will be. It's always like guys like that. It always seems like guys like that show good flashes and good production throughout, and especially as the season moves on, right, as it gets later. And the playoff hunt starts to come on and guys start to play better, they always end up doing really well in the market, especially from a pass rusher standpoint, right? Like, I mean, that's a very specific position that every team wants. They want a guy that can come in on second and third down, that could go get after the quarterback and things like that. But if you had the chance to re-sign Enikbari for a price that I don't know what pass rushers are even getting these days. I know Myles Garrett gets like 40-something and Mike is at 40-something. So, like, I know that's like the highest end, but I don't know what those mid-tier guys are getting, right? Like, I don't know what that is. Is that 15? Is it 4? Is it 10? Is it 11? Is it 12? I don't know.
Well, Khalil Mack, I think, got 18, just to give you a kind of reference point. He older guy, but still productive. And I don't want to call him mid, but at this point, that's kind of where he's at. So I would say you're probably in the ballpark.
Yeah, and Kingsley Enikbari had 2 sacks last season. Like, and we all agree that he. No, we all agree.
Look at him. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think
people look at his impact. Yeah. He's an impactful player. He did not get as much work. I mean, he took reps at the end of the year from Rashawn Gary. That wasn't Rashawn being a low snap count guy. That was hey, we want Enikbari out there. And I told you, he made that critical play in that the only Bears win we had this year. He made the critical play on third down that saved us. He's not just a pass rush guy. He should get better. And I'm with Brian. I want him on this team. And if you let Rashawn Gary go, you're putting all your eggs in the LVN basket and then drafting somebody young. This is a team you want to win now, and you want urgency, and you're a Super Bowl roster. We heard it from Gutey again. You got to have guys that are ready to produce now, not next year. Enikbari is one of those guys. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I'm 100% with you. Like, if you release Gary, I think you have that's like a must bring back. Like, you have to find a way to bring him back. And whether that's a incentive based, it's a good contract. I'm not saying give him nothing, but it's a good contract. Then he can earn incentives based on how he, performs. If he gets sacks, he gets way more money. Like, that's, to me, and because you said he had 2 sacks last year, but you would say his reps were not where they needed to be early on in the season, and then they picked up late in the season. But he made a really big impact for that defense later on in the season. So you would give him a good contract and say, hey, you can earn up to X amount if you get this many sacks, because that's what, or whatever it may be. I don't know. But it all depends on what his market looks like, and I think it's going to be a good market. I think he'll have a good market. I do. It's pass rushers, good DBs, good offensive linemen. They always find their way to have a good market when free agency opens. It always works out that way. But $28 million cap hit for Rashawn, I just
can't happen.
You just can't. It's just not going to work that way.
Nope.
Well, they have to figure out what LVN is. I don't expect them to give him the 5th-year option, which I think the deadline's the first week of May. So they've got a lot of decisions that they're going to have to make at a position where they're not deep already. And whether Sorrell and Colin Oliver raise their games.
I like Sorrell.
I know you do.
I like Sorrell.
I know you do.
Make a good boot. They make a good boot.
All right. So, Brian, I want to apologize in advance because we're going to take a break, and you're going to have to endure something that has become, it's become a little controversial in these last 2 days.
Hey, Brian, do you think that Jason's a huge WWE fan? Like a wrestling
I never
guy?
said I never said I was.
Just
I never
hold up.
said that.
Hold up
Don't
and let
bro.
Brian answer. Brian,
Do I think he is? Like, do I think it wouldn't be my first guess that I think he's a huge WWE fan. It wouldn't
You'd
be
be
like
right.
my first guess. Yeah.
So I've drawn some criticism for not knowing the signature phrase. I did know the sound he loves to make. Ric Flair, woo! That I knew.
Oh.
I did not know about, and maybe you knew, because you look like a big WWE guy, that he's a...
My kids love it. My kids love it. I will say that they absolutely love it.
Okay.
They love it.
But do
Should
they
we
know
let
that
Brian
Ric
do
Flair?
the Ric Flair? I kind of want Brian to read the Ric Flair, see if he knows any better than you. Well, you're 4 days in now. You probably got it figured out.
No, I don't think so. Ric Flair, as you may know, is a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing son of a gun, Brian. Woo! Yep. And the good news is that Ric Flair, that same Ric Flair, is coming to Milwaukee March 27th at the Riverside Theater to join our buddy Thanasis Antetokounmpo for Thanalysis Live with the WWE Hall of Famer and global icon himself, Ric Flair. This isn't a cameo. This isn't some 5-minute interview. This is a full live show. And say it with me. Woo! High energy, unfiltered storytelling, behind-the-scenes moments that you've never heard about. And if you know Thanasis, you know he's going to bring the juice. Energy, laughs, surprises. And when Ric Flair grabs a microphone, you know that anything can happen. Tickets are limited, so don't wait. Lock yours in right now at taliveshow.com. That's taliveshow.com. Thanalysis Live, March 27th at the Riverside Theater, presented by Gruber Law Offices and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Woo! More Bryan Bulaga. Woo! Next, I gotta go get a lozenge. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Parents can expect to use 2,500 to 3,000 diapers in a baby's first year. The Milwaukee Diaper Mission has distributed over 1.4 million diapers and other supplies for families just last year alone. This is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. Join me for WTMJ Cares, Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. You can be part of it. Text BABY to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, to support our WTMJ Cares effort.
With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. And with a 10-year labor warranty, your windows and doors are worry-free for years to come. If something goes wrong, we're here to handle it because you work with the same team from start to finish.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 48 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
He is coaching for his job in 2026. When you're up against it, when you're backed into a corner, do you want to entrust a guy that has publicly said that he doesn't trust that the coaching staff is putting him in the best situations to be successful? If you were doing a job and you had to do it at a high level, otherwise you would get fired, do you want somebody that has publicly said they can't trust you? Probably not. Why would you want to have A.J. Brown on this team if at every turn you have to worry about this guy going on a Twitch stream or going on social media or saying something that is critical of how you're operating the team and putting it out there in the public sphere? You wouldn't want to do that. You don't want people that are supposed to be helping you to do the job second-guessing your leadership.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things
things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I've got some famous friends. No, not yet. Not ready. We need to get Jesse to learn the music. Bryan Bulaga continues with us on Wilde Tausch. Gutey speaking in Indianapolis yesterday in multiple sessions. Some interesting tidbits, including using the word absolutely when he was asked about Josh Jacobs being the team's #1 running back next season.
You buy that? Do we buy that? Because Aaron Jones, was that absolutely, or what was the word with Aaron Jones?
Yeah, no, the word was absolutely. Now, again, that I think, he was asked when it came to Aaron Jones 2 years ago or whatever that was, going into the 24 season.
Yeah,
Do you expect Aaron Jones to be back next season? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Now, the question that was asked, which, if you want to parse words, which Tausch, as you point out frequently, I've been known to do.
You love.
He was saying.
Nothing. You are the Ric Flair of word parsings.
Woo! If you want to be parsy, yeah, he absolutely expected him to be back. The question was phrased based on the transcript I was sent by my wonderful fellow beat writers. He was asked, will Josh Jacobs be the #1 running back next season? And then he said, absolutely. So there's a little bit of nuance there, but I think when he said what he did about Aaron Jones, I think he understood that might have been a little bit misleading. So I was a little surprised that he used that same phrase. The reason I bring this up, Brian, is you and I have talked about this here. We've talked about it on Green Bay Game Day, on Uncle Homer's show. I'm a Josh Jacobs guy. I understand he's 29 years old, and he's getting into the danger zone, Kenny Loggins, when it comes to the Packers roster. But and his season was not what he wanted it to be. Played hurt, which some guys don't do. Do you want him to be the #1 running back? Do you want him on that line? Do you need him on that line?
Yeah, I love Jacobs. I think he's everything he is for the locker room. I think as a player, I think he's fantastic. And I think the season he had, a lot of that contributes to the way the offensive line played, which was very poor up front in the run game all season. It just wasn't good enough up front all season. So you could, if you want to say it's his age or it was the injuries, well, you could say the injuries hampered it. Sure. Yes, you could say that he got beat up a little bit, but he played. So, like, he played the games. Like, that's the end of the day. But you got to look at what was going on up front. Up front was not good from a run blocking standpoint. So it's hard to blame a back that the year prior showed you great production, and over his career has shown great production. When all of a sudden a year takes a step back, but you got to look into what caused that. And I truly believe that was up front, inconsistencies up front. So if he's able to come back, if like obviously the numbers work out, again, I don't know if the target is the Super Bowl MVP, if that's the guy that people would be going to look to get. Say it's not the Super Bowl MVP, right? Walker. Say we're not looking. Then yes, Jacobs has to be back. He has to be your running back next year. There's no doubt. I mean, I don't see another scenario where there's I like the backup guys right now. I like the number 2 back and 3 back that we have. I think they're good players. I don't think that they're number 1 backs.
Need a home run hitter. Need a home run hitter. It can't just be 4 or 5 yards. We need somebody that's going to take it to the house and threaten defenses that they can't sit in cover 2, stay back, and try to keep everything in front because they know even if Jacobs or somebody busts one, it'll be a nice 8 or 10-yard run. They'll live with that. They're going to have a harder time if you're gashing and having the opportunity to bust. And I don't know if we got that guy on our roster right now.
I don't know. We don't know
that.
I mean, Jacobs. I don't think Jacobs was ever mistaken for like a home run hitter type of back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was ever his MO as a back. Not even when he first got into
the league. I think early in his career he had more, but yeah, you're right. He was a downhill, hard-nosed. I agree. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the home run hitters that were like Aaron Jones. That's what Aaron would do. Aaron would be able to bust a run, get outside, and scamper for 50 yards and make it work, right? That's not really Jacobs' game. And the way our run game is right now and the way we're deploying it, you're not going to hit too many home runs running duo. I hate to tell you. It's just the way the run game is. You're not hitting home runs running duo. And power, those aren't home run type plays. The ones that hit and get are outside zone stretch plays that end up cutting back, and there's no one there, and he beats one guy on the backside, and then he scampers into the secondary. That's or you get around the edge, or you do things like that. Running duo and power and double and pulling your guard and tackle. You're not getting 30, 40 yard a crack on those. It's just not going to happen. That is an intentional 5 yards, 4 yards, methodical type run game, and that's just what that style is.
So, all right. So I want to play something for you because this dovetails beautifully with what you were saying about the issues up front. And again, I'm not here to blow sunshine up either one of your hoodies, but the fact of the matter is you guys both have mentioned this multiple times over the last year and a half, whatever. The loss to the Eagles left a mark. And it was clear to both of you, and to me to a smaller degree, that they wanted to do something different with their offensive line as a result.
Yep, and quick question before you set this up. Brian, did Gutey overreact to that one game? Because that O-line, with Josh Myers leading it and Elton at left guard, and obviously they were going to make some changes, but they rebooted a bunch. Did Gutey overreact to that one playoff loss where we did get bullied? No doubt about it.
Yeah, we got bullied, no doubt. But Elton also left the game after what, a series?
Yeah, 4 plays, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was musical chairs with guys that have not played any snaps in that guard, and then it just turned into a disaster. So
or Travis Glover.
Yeah,
but then he overhauled the whole thing, right?
Yes, and my response is I think it was a little bit of too much of a knee-jerk reaction to the whole thing. I think it was a little bit too knee-jerk. And listen, no, you don't want to watch a playoff game where you get beat up front. And I get it. Like, you want to, but to overhaul the entire thing over one game when your offense was built around the run game the entire season and it was really good, it's just to reshape and go, don't want that anymore. We want to go to this. Yeah, just maybe a little bit too knee-jerk of a reaction.
So that makes because remember, they also lost Josh Myers in that game as well. He was carted off in Philadelphia. They were one step away from having LaTroy Guion have to play guard like you guys did in the NFC Championship game in 2016. Good old Gooch. So Gutey was asked during the podium time with all the reporters, not just Wisconsin folks, about the offensive line. And all of us thought this was a very interesting response. Here is Gutey yesterday about the offensive line.
I think coming out of 2024, I just thought we were getting pushed around a little bit more than I wanted to. And again, I think all 32 teams here covered big guys who can move, right? Because they're the hardest guys to find. And then so again, it was natural that we added that.
Is that something you'd like to keep looking at for this offseason as well?
Yeah, all the time.
So he thought they got pushed around, but he does say in there, and you're an example of this, big guys that can move. How well did they move? Because part of the whole idea is getting movement in a system that you played in, is it not?
Yeah. I mean, so he answered that two ways. Like, he answered that in both directions a little bit, right? Like, I didn't like the way we got pushed around, even though our back ran for like 1,100 yards or 12, whatever he ran for last year.
13:29.
Yeah, which was really
1,300
good, right?
after contact.
Almost, yes, but a lot.
Or that. And then, so he didn't like that they got pushed around in the playoff game, but then he wants big guys that move and that are athletic and that can run, and that it's a little bit of it's contradicting, because if you bring in guys that are 6'6", 330 plus pounds and are just mass movers, right, and they just go straight,
Aaron Banks,
it doesn't really give you the versatility to run the scheme that Matt runs. And then also there's going to be something that suffers as well, and that's the pass protection. Like, there's certain things that come along with that, right? So say, okay, yeah, we want one giant human being on our line, but we're going to keep the rest of it kind of the same, and we're going to set the run game. This guy's going to be our tempo getter for the run game. He's going to be the focus. Okay. But the rest of the guys can't all look the exact same. They all can't. You can't then start molding it around that, because if you want to be able to throw the football and do those types of things and have that type of pass protection that Matt runs, and have the run game that initially Matt had, they can't be all the same exact guy that you claiming, we got pushed around.
So they got to be on the same page, right? Matt and Brian got to be on the same page.
You would think that those are conversations that are had. At least I would think so.
They better be, right?
That like, hey, that like there's a body type that's required, right? Like, there's a body
conducive.
Like, if you want to. Yeah, if you want to get a certain type of player, a guy that you think is your centerpiece for the run game, a guard that's kind of like, you look at I hate to say the Eagles O-line, because those guys all move extremely well. Like, they're all like the Lane Johnsons and Mailatas and Dickerson. Like, those guys are athletic, like, very athletic. So like,
they didn't have a very good year this year either.
No, well, Lane Johnson goes out and the whole thing kind of falls apart, right? I mean, it's just you can't run the ball as well because you can't pass protect. Like, everything kind of spirals out of control. But that year that they got pushed around, that the Eagles won it, They didn't have like any injuries. Those dudes were fresh. They were flying around the ball. They were running zone. They were but if that's what you want to design it after, like there's not many guys like that in the NFL that are 330, 40 pounds and run like deer. Like they're just not, they're not out there. Like it's not a common thing. Like it's not normal. Like I remember I always go back to it, like the Saints offensive line when Drew Brees was with Jari and Carl Nicks, like those guys were absolutely enormous human beings, right? And their job was to run inside zone, which they did really well. And then they were the stable part of the pocket where Drew Brees was just able to stand back there like 4 or 5 yards behind those guys. The tackles, I always felt like they got beat, but they were just running guys super high and wide to try to create a perfect baseball plate. And those two guys just stood still and blocked guys because they were so enormous. They weren't asked to get out and run zone and things like they were power players. But this offense that Matt runs is not like that offense. And if you're going to change this offense to be like that offense, then it's the personnel everywhere that has to change for that. And Jordan Love is not the type of quarterback that just sits in the pocket like Drew Brees does. Jordan Love is not that type of quarterback. Right. Jordan Love learned from Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers was not the quarterback that just sits still and he manipulates the pocket. He likes to move around. He likes to do things. It's not the same. You can't. That was my doorbell. It's
like
loud.
That. Yeah.
And who's that at the door?
I don't know. It's a good question.
James Campen, what are you doing here?
But
Campy's up there grinding. So, Blue, before we let you go, I guess you just went through and I think you examined it and talked the Drew Brees part. What should Gutey be looking for now that we know the skill sets of Jordan Love and where we're at running the football and not good enough? What should he – we know what we are, or we know what Matt LaFleur wants this offense to be. What type of O-lineman should he be going after?
I mean, I think you look at who he drafted right off the get. He drafted Elton right off the – he drafted Elton Matt's first year. That
he's
player
gone.
Profile. Well, I know, but
okay.
I'm just talking about that player profile. Or if you're going to go out and try to get free agents, like that type of guy that, hey, like how it used to be was they always drafted tackles. They drafted tackles, and then they were able to move them into and like, hey, he played tackle in college, but he's got more of a guard profile. That's how we're going to do this. Like, that's where I would be looking to do. And when you looked at the guys that, like Elton, for example, is a perfect example of that. Tackle profile, could play tackle, but man, he moved into guard, and it was like
play everywhere.
Yep. It was fantastic. And Gutey always talks about he wants versatility. That's great, but if you draft 6'6", 330, 40, there's one position those guys are playing in the NFL. There's one position, and that's going to be guard. And they're going to. And Brian, there's only one.
You bring that up. And why I asked it is because it feels like we're cross-contaminating what the Gutey model has been. Because you have Banks is stuck. Banks is going to play where Banks plays. Belton, going to be Belton. Those guys aren't Elton Jenkins types. Jordan Morgan's an Elton Jenkins type. Zach Tom's an Elton Jenkins type. So now we got two types of different guys, and it's like, we'll just see what works. Well, that's great if you can mix the whole pot together and get it, but that's where I'm just wondering if he's looking at it saying, this is the type I want, which way is he going? Because he just spent a lot of money on a different body type and drafted a guy with a different body type than the ideal that he drafted as one of his first picks was Elton Jenkins.
Yeah, no, I think, and this is just me, I think they're going to, but then he drafts Jordan Morgan. That is more of a kind of the way Ted used to draft guys that were tackles. They're built a little bit different.
Figure it out. Better figure it out this year.
Yeah. But I think that, you listen to that clip, I think he's going to continue down the same path that you've seen. I think he continue to try to get bigger. That's just what that's just my opinion. That's what it appears to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just being honest. I don't see him kind of going back to the Ted way of doing it, where you draft a guy, and like if he would have said, "Well, Ted loved versatility," well, yeah, sure, yeah, maybe he did, but Ted's deal was, I'm drafting guys for certain positions. Like I'm drafting them to play a position. I'm not drafting them to be a guard and a tackle sometimes. And well, no. Ted drafted guys to play positions, and it was that's what it was. So I think it's going to continue down the same path where he's going to get bigger, continue to draft bigger. I think you never know what's going to happen in this draft with depending on where they land and with how the comp picks and what they get. But there may be another tackle drafted early-ish based on not knowing how Jordan Morgan's going to perform, right? And what that body type looks like, I think it's going to continue down the same trend as we've seen from free agency and last draft.
All right,
I would argue that the model of left tackles everywhere, figure out where you can fit them, has worked very, very well for the G&G. And going away from that, give me athletes, and I'll figure the rest of it out. Yeah. That's how I would look at it, and I think that's where you're at too, Brian.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at.
You guys are right, but again, and we don't have time to get into this, we'll have to save it for next week, so write this down, Jesse. Is there a lack of connectivity between what the GM thinks they need and what the coaches want to do when it comes to that? Because that's something that, if we're going to talk about how they all got extensions, you would hope that they're all on the same page in terms of what their vision is for what the offensive line looks like, how they utilize. There was a point yesterday where Gutey said he would like to have seen Matthew Golden get more opportunities, which, again, is that a statement about how the Packers used him, or is that he dealt with a bunch of injuries? When you say things like that, it perks people's ears up. So we'll get into that with Brian when we talk to him again next week. Hey, that poor guy's still standing at the door waiting for you to open the door, so we will let you go.
Oh, he's got a robot. I don't know if you know, Brian's got a robot now that does all that in his house.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Bought a
Theodore. I think he called him Theodore.
Jeeves. Yeah. Brian, we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
All right, guys. Take care.
That is Bryan Bulaga, who joins us every Wednesday and makes us smarter in the process. Speaking of smart to insure with American Family Insurance.
And Badger fans, American Family Insurance wants you and 3 friends to have the game day of your dreams. You can win on-court access before the game, incredible seats to cheer on our favorite team. Enter the Dream Day Sweepstakes now at amfam.com/Badgers. Again, that's the Dream Day Sweepstakes at amfam.com/Badgers. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is tonight at 6:30 against the Nets on WMLW.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
At Saturn Lounge, we know. If your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour for Wilde Tausch begins now, thanks to Bryan Bulaga. Always love having him on Wednesdays. Tausch, I brought something up at the end of our conversation there as we were talking about the offensive line that I just want to circle back to because I don't want to be the pot stirrer, the instigator. And I know when I say something like I did, that can be something that gets people riled up. The idea that Gutey and LaFleur are not on the same page sometimes or have different visions, you would hope that that's not the case. I'm not saying that I know that that's the case by any means. But at the same... Well, it makes... I do wonder. I would say that. That's how I would phrase it. And if we're going to move forward, as the Packers chose to do, with running it back, trusting stability, and keeping all three of those leaders, Russ Ball, Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur, together, if that is Ed Policy's policy. And he comes out and says that he thinks the communication is better than it's ever been, I certainly want to believe that. My question is, when we look at something like this with the offensive line, is it wrong for me to wonder about that? Should I trust them that they're all on the same page? Because the way Gutey acknowledged that he thought they got pushed on that might be the first time he's actually said those words out loud, right? About 2024? His actions certainly showed it.
That's what I was just going to say. The words and everything else that is said, you can take what you want out of them. It is about that action. And until Josh Jacobs has a redone contract, I'm going to look at everything he said yesterday as words. Now, that doesn't mean he's lying. There's nuance with these things. There could be, there's somebody came available at Gutey and Matt LaFleur. Both are like, man, we need this cat on our football team, which is what happened with Josh Jacobs the last time around. So is there going to be a disconnect? Are football people all going to see things the same way? They won't. They never will. That's why to have alignment and to have relationship where you can have those discussions, be disagreeable without being a jerk or whatever that saying is, that's what we're looking for. But I think you do need to make sure fundamentally you're all on the same page, what you're trying to get done and how you're going to go about doing it. Because if Matt LaFleur is an outside zone, quick, athletic lineman getting up to the next level, and Brian Gutekunst is, I want to pound you into submission, I don't want to get shoved around, we have some issues there. You can't – now, it's awesome if you have 5 guys that are all everything. I haven't seen a group that has that. I've seen groups that have been cohesive and have figured all of those things out, and that is the goal, And maybe that is what this is. Maybe it is nice to have a little variation. Oh, I got a road grader at right guard, and I got an uber athlete at left guard. Okay, we can make that work. I played on a team that was like that, and it worked very well. So you can have different body types, but you have to be aligned. I knew we were going to run power, and then we were going to run a weak side power the other way, and we were going to run zone, and we were going to run some toss. That's what we did. Right now, with this run game, I have no idea what we're going to do. I don't have a clue. Where are we going to go? Well, we're going to do jet sweep on 3rd and 3. We're going to do what are we hanging our hat on? We're going to be out of gun? Are we going to run duo? Well, duo was great a couple years ago. I don't think duo was very good last year. I don't know what the stats would tell me, but it wasn't as good. So I thought the Matthew Golden comments were also very interesting. I also agree with you on that because GMs like being right. They like it when it's, my guy is incredibly talented, and I knew this is what my vision for him was, and I knew it. Now, as a rookie wideout in Green Bay, we also know it's tough sledding. You got to earn it. You got to be out there, and there has not been – we've got a lot of great wideouts have come through here. Hall of Fame guys. Hardly any had big impacts. I would argue Greg Jennings has still had the biggest impact as a rookie wideout of anybody since 2000. I don't know anyone that's had a bigger one. Greg was a really good football player. Probably would have been a Hall of Famer had he stayed in Green Bay.
Agreed.
He didn't. That's where we're at. So with this, Matthew Golden, I believe, is going to be a stud. I think it takes a little time. I think he is going to get more and more opportunities, and I do think Gutey thinks he should have had more opportunities at the end of last season, and he's probably going to point to that Bears game and say, that's pretty good. Maybe if he got more opportunities, he would have been able to do more of that. But it's always different. Coaches see a lot more. They understand how things work, and there is a reward with good practice habits. That's where we're at with this team, and I think that the more in sync Gutey and Matt LaFleur can be, the better off we're going to be as an organization.
We'll get further into what Gutey had to say yesterday and get ready for Uncle Homer. It's all still ahead in the 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, so stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by...
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
That's why I said the toughest part to me for the Packers is that the division is, I think, better than it's been.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
So the issue is, and I'm working on the T-shirt right now, this season is very simple. Got to win the damn division.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. And with a 10-year labor warranty, your windows and doors are worry-free for years to come. If something goes wrong, we're here to handle it because you work with the same team from start to finish.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 48 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
We all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better, and my wife Sarah is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more? No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber's offices. One call, that's all.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
With Oklahoma coming up, and we'll get back to Brian Gutekunst a little bit later. But, and I know that this is not an Aaron Rodgers-centric program by any means. It has been in the past, but not in recent years anyway. But because we had Evan Cohen on yesterday, and he referenced Rodgers and the idea of him playing in Minnesota, Adam Schefter appeared on Evan Cohen's program, Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear every weekday morning across ESPN Wisconsin, and thought this when it came to Aaron Rodgers playing for the rival Minnesota Vikings in 2026.
Look, he's a free agent, so he can go do what he wants. Last year, I think he did want to play in Minnesota. So if he wanted to do that last year, I don't know why he wouldn't want to do it this year. The issue last year was that the Vikings were very sensitive to bringing in somebody like Aaron Rodgers, who's such a force, such a dominant personality, and how that would hinder or affect growth of J.J. McCarthy. So maybe they feel differently. It's a different set of dynamics. The GM has been fired. So I wouldn't rule it out, but it came up last year. I could see it coming up again this year, and I can't speak to how likely it is or isn't to happen.
So the sneaky, interesting thing that he said there, because if I recall correctly, Tausch, Diana Rossini was roundly criticized. I think Rodgers took some shots at her for basically saying, look, he wants to play for the Vikings. And they had some conversations, him and Kevin O'Connell, and to the point that Schefter makes there, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah is out as GM. Rob Brzezinski is kind of taking that on as an interim basis. And they made no commitment whatsoever to J.J. McCarthy yesterday when Brzezinski talked in Indianapolis. But interesting that Schefter acknowledges that Rodgers wanted to play for the Vikings. What does this do for you and your thought process about him in 2026?
Yeah, I still think he should retire. And I know I'm not going to say if he is all in again and wants to do it, man, kudos to him.
Mm-hmm.
Getting up again and making that climb, I couldn't respect it more. But I really think he had a really good season with where he was at. I think he can get some of that stank, some of that Jet stank off of him. And I think he probably still believes he can lead a team to a championship. And I think he probably in his heart of hearts knows it's not going to be Pittsburgh. He would have a much better chance of doing that with Minnesota. Now, the question is Aaron still at that point? I think he can still lead a team. He's no longer, who's the dude that always carried those big boulders around? Hercules. He ain't Hercules no more, man.
Can't carry the team.
He needs a lot of people. He can be a part of it. He can help push the rock, but he ain't lugging. He can't carry that thing up the hill by himself no more like he used to. He needs a lot of help. Pittsburgh, they can't give him that.
Can the Vikings?
Minnesota can give him a lot more of it. I just don't know if at this point he can still have those moments. It's so much more difficult to do for 17 weeks when you're 43. I think his drive to do and get another one is still going to be very high. I think the reality also slaps him in the face, and understanding that he can't get out of the pocket and elude stuff like he used to. Mm-hmm. He just can't. That's such a big part of who he is. But if he went to Minnesota, he'd arguably have the two, if not the best tandem of wideouts, it's a top 3 tandem of wideouts that he's dealing with. He would have a pretty good O-line. He's got a defense and a defensive coordinator that causes all kinds of problems. Mm-hmm. And he's got a head football coach that I think he loves the system that he does. Now, would this put a damper on the Green Bay Packer? For a while it would. And if he could find a way to go win a championship with the Minnesota Vikings,
oh dear,
it would be very complicated. I think it would be the nicest way
for the complicated fella.
Without getting all clippy. It would be very complicated, and I don't know how that would play as far as his legacy back in Green Bay, because I'm convinced had Favre done it, it would have been a big death blow to Brett's legacy in Green Bay. I know from my perspective it would have. I think from a lot of fans it would have. I don't know if there'd be that same. There's so much time. It just feels like it's been decades since this Rodgers love scenario has passed. But I'm telling you, you want to get urine hot? All of a sudden the Vikings really good and Rodgers leading them? It would feel like it was yesterday that happened.
If he were to wind up there, how would that alter your futures wagering at Hard Rock Casino Rockford? How would that affect
Well, I don't know where
Packers?
the Vikings are at. I can't wait for Jesse and I. We're heading down there again, I think in a couple of weeks, maybe early April. We're going to be down there, and it is a premier entertainment destination, the Hard Rock Casino Rockford, just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. The Hard Rock Casino Rockford offers the most generous and most frequent promotions of any casino in the Midwest. And you visit the Hard Rock this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and you can take part in the $140,000 Love at First Bite Mally's chocolate giveaway. Unity by Hard Rock members. Stop by the lobby. You get a sweet reward based on your Unity tier. Jesse, that's all about you.
Love the tiers.
Inside every chocolate bar, there is a chance to win cash, free play, food comps, and more. You could be the lucky winner of $10,000 cash or $10,000 in free play. Play, dine, shop, and enjoy live shows, and you have that great sports book that I know Jesse and I will take a long, hard look at when we're down there. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
The Marquette Golden Eagles beat the Georgetown Hoyas last night. This guy was on the call. We'll talk to Uncle Homer next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Toscher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing up the third tournament of the season with another can't-miss event and $1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the iconic TPC Scottsdale, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's spacious state-of-the-art simulator. Sign up now at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and teams must get their round in by February 28th. Your chance to take on TPC Scottsdale starts today at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
With your Saganaw County Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Marquette picked up its first road win of the season, knocking off Georgetown 76-60 out in Washington, D.C. The Golden Eagles were fueled by a big night from senior Ben Gold, who recorded his first career double-double with 10 points and 12 rebounds, anchoring the paint and controlling the glass.
Ben Gold, open three, around and in.
Great answer.
Marquette pulled away in the second half and led by double figures late, all without sophomore star Royce Parham, who missed the game due to back stiffness. The 10-18 Golden Eagles now turn their focus to Sunday's matchup against DePaul back home at Fiserv Forum.
Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. Well, here we are. It's 2026. Remember last year when you said never again? Did it work? You didn't start your business to spend so much time doing bank reconciliations, cash flow projections, or inventory analysis. Let us help you keep your New Year resolution to stay on top of your finances and keep your books up to date. Don't do the same thing this year and expect different results. Start the year off on the right foot by calling the Neal Group to help you understand your numbers and make them better. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you can make 2026 the best year ever. The first meeting is free. That's 414-325-2040 or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Rebound to Marquette and Nigel James.
No need to be in a hurry.
He was, but now he slowed it up.
Just probing a little bit.
Now going to the basket. Took on all 5 players. That was another Jordan. That was a Jordan.
What was that? Goodness.
He drove, beat 4 players, and then launched and hammered like he was 6'5".
That is Steve the Homer True on the call of a dunk that was compared to a Michael Jordan dunk?
Oh, come on, man.
Did you see this dunk last night? It was crazy.
I did.
No, can you put it up on our deal here?
I'll track it down for
Is
you.
that?
Yeah.
Can we do that? Or we're not violating any TV contract?
Game was
I don't
on
want to get any
Peacock,
trouble.
of course. So we'll have to.
Well, where else would you watch the game? Joining us now, the voice of the Marquette Golden Eagles. You can also hear him on the Homer Hour, which yesterday was the Homer Half Hour, because they had the pregame programming for that game against Georgetown.
Clipping him, don't they?
Well, he made time for me. I didn't get to talk to Tony Smith, but you know how much I love Tony. And I love this guy at his Uncle Homer on Wilde Tausch. Homer, good morning. How are you?
Not well. You make a judgment on something and didn't even see it? Do you do that on a regular basis?
He's talking to you,
Anytime you're
old boy.
comparing someone to... Hey, anytime you're going to compare someone to the greatest of all time, I'm skeptical. Yeah.
No, not as a player. That
He
player.
didn't compare him
He
as
had
a player.
Jordan. He had a Jordan in the previous game that I didn't think of saying that, and it was classic Michael Jordan. Now, Tony Smith did disagree with me on this play. He said it was more of a Vince Carter than a Michael Jordan. But the problem I said was most people might not know who Vince Carter is to be able to make that comparison. But
So, Homer, Vince Carter is known as a better dunker than Michael Jordan.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Jordan, obviously the greatest of all time. And anytime you invoke his name on something or someone in a small sample size, I am going to be skeptical. Yes.
That's fine. Now, you didn't say you were skeptical. You acted like you had a comment, and you haven't seen it.
But I didn't say anything. I said, whoa. Is all I did.
Yeah,
I
would. If I could interject here briefly, because you do need to see the dunk, and you also have to keep in mind.
Yeah, Jesse will put it up on our show.
You also have to keep in mind that Nigel James is 6 feet tall.
Correct. Yep.
Like he's not. Jordan was what, 6'5"?
6'6".
6'6".
6'6".
Now,
from
he was short.
North Carolina.
He's not 6'6".
Well, he said he was 6'6".
All right. Well, Nigel James is 6
Charles
feet.
Barkley was 6'5", and he was like 6'3" at best. They determined that with the Olympics.
And as Homer accurately portrayed it, I saw this. Actually, was scrolling Twitter this morning, and I saw it, and I'm watching it again now because it is. In the video frame are 5 Georgetown defenders and him. Like, that's it. At the rim.
All right, who is it again? What's the guy's name?
Nigel James. Not Nigel Hayes.
James Jr., but I never say the junior. I don't.
Dunk. Let's see if
I'm pulling it up for you here on the video stream in just a second.
The play in the previous game against St. John's was actually
it's a good dunk.
Jordan-like.
It's a good dunk. It's more Vince Carter, though. Whoever told you that is 100% right.
Tony Smith, who is Homer's color analyst,
So
the Tausch.
pull up the play against St. John's that James did, and that would be.
I'm done pulling up. No, I'm done pulling up.
Yeah.
Homer, what did you make of? What did you make? Okay, you always told us we've had Marquette talk. Tell us about Gutey. What did you make of Gutey?
This was dunk talk and Jordan talk.
Yeah.
This was Marquette
the rule
talk,
is
too.
there has to be something special to justify any attention.
Let's go.
Well,
the boys on the bench are all fired up. Bam! That's a good dunk. Vince Carter-esque, I would agree.
I'll accept that.
Here's something else.
You're never going to agree.
No,
so
it
that's
is.
the best I can get from you. That's okay. This is
VC.
about you, not the comment.
Well, I'm just glad you saw it now. Go ahead, Tausch. Ask your Packers-related question now as the Marquette Minute is over.
Yeah, what did you I know Brad Nortman on KBN was getting a little clippy and saying that what Gutey said yesterday was, I have a roster that's built for the Super Bowl, and he didn't say it, but Norty implied coaching is what is not there. I don't know if I agree with Norty on that, But what were your big takeaways from the Gutenator's press conference yesterday?
Well, again, you can't believe anything he says. He's incredibly positive. I'm sure if he was the man in charge of the Titanic, he would have said, I still believe in the boat. So you can't go by anything he says. Go by his actions, as you've talked about. What does he end up doing with these people? What happens? And no, I put them exactly the same. They are both good, but not great. And so I have them equal. They might as well be twin brothers in terms of his job as a GM and the job as a head coach. So I was surprised by the Golden comment because he could easily say, I just want you to know that kid's going to be good. We're not there yet, but he doesn't have to pick as to why he wasn't used more. And so that comment makes me think that it is directed a little bit at LaFleur because there's no need to say it.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem healthy to me, especially after you just tied all these guys together.
It's not a consistent thing. It jumps out because he so seldom does that. I assume they both get along, and they're both incredibly happy because the president gave them an extension after a year in which they disappointed and says, I not only believe in you, I believe in you when you don't do what you're supposed to do. So the key is not what Gutey thinks. Of course, as you said, GMs are going to always believe what they do. It's what the guy in charge says, and he believes in them. So, hey, let's roll.
What about how he's viewing Rashawn Gary? We talked about that earlier in the show and the idea of him 60 pressures. He had 7.5 sacks, and 0 in the final 10 games of the year. Right. Didn't elevate his game after they lost Micah Parsons. What do you make of where he stands on Rashawn Gary?
Well, as I said, go by what he does, not what he says. He's very positive with all his players. We know that, right? That's what he does.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Now, the key is, what will they do with Rashawn Gary? And you alluded to what he said. We hope to have him back. But there was some reference to where they can offer him less, and if he doesn't accept it, then he goes on. Like, we want him back, just like Aaron Jones, and we'll see the same with Jacobs. We'll see how badly they want him back by what they offer, right? It's not too hard to know that's how this is played. Same way with offensive line, same way with everybody. It's really easy to figure out. You still have to ask him what he says, but everybody should understand you don't listen to anything. Watch what he does.
Well, we don't know what he's going to do, right? And that'll obvious. But right now, what we have are his words, and he did say something that he has not done before, which was if he's here next year, because he usually does not allow that to cross his lips. Right. Which I thought was interesting, and then he doubled back and obviously talked about the 60
That makes me think
pressures.
that Rashawn Gary will not be back. If I want to vote on it,
that was what I.
He is of $100. What would I bet? I'd probably bet 40 that he's not back.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, doesn't that mean that you think he's going to be back?
What?
It's 70 that you think he's going to be back.
60%
right?
that he's gone.
Oh, okay. I misinterpreted what you're saying.
Yeah, so what I do when everybody has an opinion now, I don't care what the opinion is. I want to know if you could bet a maximum of $100, what would you bet? Because that tells me how confident you are.
Interesting.
Well, no, it's more about the no, Homer, that's a flawed deal. It needs to be, what odds do you need? No, it's not. Because, if I bet 40, I'm still putting money on it. But I'm still putting money on it. If it's something I don't buy, I'm not going to put money on it.
Right. I might put a certain amount. Like, are they going to win
Why,
the
though?
division?
If you don't think it's going to happen, why don't you just go burn it? You didn't get no odds?
Flush it down the toilet.
What do you mean? You're not even getting any odds on it.
Whatever.
That's a dumb way to do it. Homer,
on winning
reevaluate
the division,
this theory.
About $20. Where are you?
Reevaluate your theory
on the division. On them winning the division.
No. He's just. Well, I'm going to put money on it. Well, if you put money on it, you believe it could happen. Without any odds, it makes no sense. Why don't you just say 20%? What he doesn't want to do is get into the percentage game.
It's his thing.
No, but it's not. I don't want you to use it either. I don't think it's good.
As my dad said to me when I told him thing one time, I appreciate your interest. I hope you understand it as I did when he told it to me.
No, I do understand it. I don't like it.
That's fine. I think you're wrong.
Okay.
I think you're better than that. You fell into. Here's the deal. You fell into something because you don't want to get in. You don't want to play percentages, but you just said 40% that Rashawn Gary's going to be back, or $40. But you don't actually believe he's going to be back, and you're not getting any odds on it. Why would you ever put $40 on it?
Right, but it's a way of expressing your confidence level. He's not actually going up to the teller window and dropping
I would
the $40.
need 10 to 1 odds in order to put anything on it. That tells me he doesn't think he's coming back.
But I think for those of us that maybe aren't quite as well versed in the wagering realm, if you said I would, out of $100, I'd be willing to put a $5 on it. That would indicate to me that you really don't think it's going to happen.
There is a legitimate complaint, though Tausch didn't bring it up, and that is when you use money, $100 means different things to different people.
It means a lot to me.
But that doesn't. I accept that as part of it. Like, okay, just
okay.
If the maximum you can bet is 100. Well, I bet 100 on everything. Okay, that's fine. But so, all right, if you want to do this, what percentage chance do you, Mark Tauscher, because this is clearly your segment, would you have the Packers winning the division?
What does that mean?
You heard what?
Are you getting all sensitive now? What, Homer? You got nobody. You can't push back on anything you say, or it's you're the devil.
Well,
like,
you
what?
did call
I
him
don't think
dumb.
your thing is good, and I want to help you.
That position as well.
It is dumb. No, he knows it's dumb. His stuff, Homer. When you say, "I will bet anybody this," if you go down to Ted's in Tosa, that resonates. This doesn't resonate, and you know it.
I think you've made that clear.
With you, it does not
as far
resonate.
as what percentage I think Rashawn Gary, I guess I'll put $22 down on it with no odds. I don't even know what any of that means because then I might as well burn the $22
Hold on,
if I think it's only 22% chance that he's going to be back.
In a way that he does approve of, and instead of just answering, he felt he needed to abuse me even more. Yeah, okay, fine.
Who's abusing you? There's nobody abusing
I believe
I'm sorry.
Fun of me again.
No, I didn't call him dumb. I called his setup there dumb.
Okay.
No, it just Homer. You're so much better than that. That's why. I'm disappointed.
I appreciate that.
Talk about condescension.
All right, I want to get into the UFL rules.
You're so much better than that. I'm so
all right.
disappointed.
What do you got? I love the UFL rules. Which ones do you like?
I mean, I like the 1 foot out of bounds. I like the concept of the NFL discussing the possibility of replay officials to throw flags for penalties. And people that don't like that don't understand in college football, they already have people upstairs that make the decision on whether things are going to be challenged. This is nothing new. The college football setup is so much better, and why the NFL, they have somebody who has all the pressure of deciding what will actually be viewed in replay. So this isn't even as far as that. Of course, you need to start using all the vehicles to make the game officiated better. And I'm not making this up. It already exists. And watch college football, how well this thing is handled. Coaches aren't involved.
Yeah, you know
in
what's going to be really fun. What's going to be really fun is old boy throws a pick six up. Well, Lenny hit his hand on his face mask. We're going to take it back. That's going to really add a lot to the game. If you don't throw a flag on the field, I don't want it reviewed. Period. Now, if you want to review for punches on the sideline and extracurriculars after, I'm okay. But I'm telling you, they ain't going to stop. They're not going to stop there. It's going to get to the point where you're going to be able to challenge a play. There's going to be a long touchdown run, and you're going to say the left tackle had his hands outside the carry, and you're going to call a holding penalty after a touchdown run. That is not an NFL that I'm interested in at all. And that's not a college football I'm interested in at all. And if you don't think that's where this thing is going, I can't help you.
It hasn't gone that way in college.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. How long have they had it in where the repay people
Not that long. It's been for targeting. It has been for targeting. That is the only time that replay comes down. It's not for pass interference. It's not for a late hit. It's for targeting.
Right. They do the replay to decide if the call was incorrect. Not on necessarily penalties, but somebody's up there saying, hey, they missed this. We need to look at that. But, yes.
Hey, you missed the left guard with a hold. I'm out on
I
that.
don't.
I don't want any
They
part.
haven't gone that far. But when they do,
will.
that'd be too far. But the ID, well, I don't know. Like I said, and then the other thing that really irritates me is the 4-point field goal. This is just
I love that.
This is not soccer.
Oh,
This is
hard
not
to believe
soccer.
you two are on different pages.
Oh, this is.
How
so
do you not
pathetic.
like How do you not like the 4-point field goal?
Because
I love
it's not football, it's soccer. If you are making 60-yard field goals, it is wrong, and you need to move the uprights in. The chance of a 60-yard field goal should be 1 in 20. The chance of a 50-yard field goal should be 1 in 2. Play damn football. Just like appropriately, they said no punts inside the 50-yard line.
Well, get rid of the
Like that
kicking ball, and maybe that will be the case, but they didn't. They
Fine.
wanted more field goals made. And
They're
by the way,
idiots.
at the end of a game, Homer, if you're down 3 and you want to stop at the 44-yard line so you can kick a 60-yarder to win it, I love that
I do
thought
love
process.
this wrinkle.
I think that is a fun add to this game. I do.
Yeah. Well, just let them kick all the time. Why even play? Just have a kicking game. Let's just have kicking.
Oh, God.
What about 70 yards? It's just wrong. It's not.
70
the
yards should
part
be
of
5
the
points.
game. All right, yeah. Why not make it 10? Why just 5? Make it 10.
Well,
Why are
don't
you
be
stopping at
Homer.
4?
Don't be ridiculous. Don't be
No, because they're
ridiculous.
a touchdown is only 6. You should never have a field goal that important relative to a touchdown. I would make touchdowns.
So you want to go? So let me hear this outright. I actually think you're onto something here. Inside the 5, a field goal is only worth 1 point. Forces you to think about going for it more. 20-yard
They are
line,
doing
it's
that
2.
on the- they do that on-
30-yard
Doing that
line,
on
it's
extra
3.
points.
They're doing that on extra points. 1, 2, and 3.
I'm kind of. Is that your new theory? Because I'm kind of intrigued.
Get rid of kicking.
I'd
No,
like to hear
for
more.
example, if you're going to do this on the field goal and a touchdown over 80 yards is 9 points.
Oh, so you're encouraging big plays.
Yes,
I
if
get
I'm
on board
going
with
to
that.
honor something, I'm going to honor the game of football, not soccer.
I'm
And when you say soccer, you're referring to like the Milwaukee Wave and the indoor leagues where they have like 3-point goals, just like 3-point baskets for Marquette.
I'm saying they don't even have football players kicking. You have soccer players because they're so good at it, and that's fine. I'm not holding that against them. I'm just saying that's not the damn game. So if you're going to add points, you add points to playing football, not I kick a touchdown.
Well,
They're
nobody's kicking for a
great.
touchdown.
They're going to make a 70-yard field goal. I thought it would be done already. No. The longer the field goal, the less points you should get because you should be playing football.
Okay, now you lost me.
How about that?
I was with you for most of it, and now. Well, now
He's going to
Again,
put
extra
$22.
extra
He's
points
putting
should
$22
exist.
down on that.
Yes.
That tells you he's confident.
Extra points in football should be based on football, not kicking. So they have the concept.
Because football players play football, and football kickers kick the football, and you get the
No, they're
ball,
not
and you
football
make
players.
the kicks, and boom, you win a championship if you make a.
As you would know with Don Hudson, if you're old enough, the kickers used to be, like Jerry Kramer, football players.
Football
you
players,
couldn't
yeah.
bring in somebody extra. You had to play a position, and then when somebody, the Giants, were smart enough to bring in a kicker, Gogolak, then it changed everything. So
Gogolak. Okay.
Pete
Is he
Gogolak,
related to
buddy.
Mike Golick?
No.
I think you should also make the kickers go straight toe. No more soccer style. You have
Mark
to kick it straight
Mosley.
toe like Ray Wershing.
Mark Mosley was the MVP one year for the
He
Washington
was.
Redskins.
Of
Insane.
the league?
Yes.
Yes.
Of the league.
By the way, one quick thing. Greg Jennings.
That's an
you
era
said
I
Jennings
wish I
should be
lived
in
in.
the Hall of Fame if he'd been with the Packers. Not one chance in a million. No.
Greg
come
Jennings
on.
it stuck with Green Bay and played his entire career in Green Bay. He's in the Hall of Fame. Yep.
All right. Look it up. You'll say I was wrong at some point. I don't know how long. Probably not on this. thing.
Who's going to say I was wrong?
He would.
Anybody who follows the Hall of Fame.
All right, so I will tell you that there were multiple people after he left in 2012 who said if he'd have just stayed in Green Bay,
He had another 8 or 9 year runway, Homer, with Aaron
Right.
Rodgers slinging it to him. Are you
Well,
crazy?
if you add those, if he'd had 8 or 9 more years at 1,000, you just tell me what he would have had done in Green Bay if he hadn't left to get into the Football Hall of Fame.
Well, he left after the 2012 season.
Correct.
Rodgers was the quarterback through 2022. Right. He would have had another potentially. There are people in the building that swear he would have surpassed Driver. He would have been the all-time leading receiver in Packers history in every category, and that maybe they win another Super Bowl. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. I'm Team Tausch. I was with you for most of today's segment. But on the Greg Jennings thing, I'm Team Tausch.
I'm so confident, Homer, I'd put $15 on it. I would put $15 on it.
I knew that.
No, I'd put 15 on it.
And if they'd have won 3 Super Bowls, and if he'd have played 9 more years. Yeah, given all that garbage,
Homer, he would have signed a 5-year deal, and then he would have probably kept going and got another 2-3-year extension. He would have finished his career in Green Bay.
And that wasn't any close to enough.
And I would have put $15 on it. $15.
Don't you have to leave?
He can't. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, yeah. Sorry, I went too long. I dropped him off. I'd have to pick him up today. It's a different Uber rule. But bye.
What a dunk!
Nice, thanks. Bye.
Vince Carter.
Jordan-esque. Okay, that was a lot. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but it was a lot.
Ronnie Lott.
I respectfully,
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I like Homer's analogy,
Big
and I
lot.
cannot lie. I think they went out of business. But I don't even have a segue to this. Gruber Law Offices, 1 call, that's all. The Badgers, I forgot that they were playing the Ducks tonight. I do not think I will stay up for it. I would have worn a Ducks hat had I realized they were playing the Ducks tonight in Eugene. But when they are at the Kohl Center, every time they make a free throw from the charity stripe, Gruber Law Offices donates to UW Carbone Cancer Center to support the ongoing research into cancer that Carbone Cancer Center does. It's one of the many things that the Gruber Law Offices do to support our communities. But most importantly, they're there for you if you suffer an injury in an accident. Hopefully you never have to make the call, but if you do, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices. 1 call, that's all. Send it in! Nigel. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Brewers. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe and Josh DiMaggio.
This offseason is ginormous for Brian Gutekunst. He's going to have a full-blown reinvention project for a lot of this roster.
Tune into ESPN Milwaukee and Madison on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 for Mr. Irrelevant.
Without a first-round pick. Because there is a lot of things to figure out, and this is the same guy that a year ago said it's time we start competing for championships.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe and Josh DiMaggio.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And from now through March 8th, our listeners get 40% off all Iron Jock t-shirts and polos with the code SPRING40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Homer here from ESPN Wisconsin. Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business for 130 years, Horicon Bank has helped Wisconsin businesses grow, doing banking differently since 1896. If you're a local business, that same local approach is part of the Milwaukee business community, bringing decisions closer to you. Financing approved in days, not weeks. Bankers who understand your business. Products built for real cash flow needs. When it comes to commercial lending, Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together, doing good for 130 years.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Yeah, I didn't think so. If you're feeling pain that makes you feel older than you are, there's good news. QC Kinetics patients here in Milwaukee are getting relief, feeling younger, jumping back into life at full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. Dr. Caravelli and the team at QC Kinetics and their medical professionals use the latest in regenerative treatments, backed by real science. Treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body and concentrate them right where you need relief. Nothing makes it more real than hearing the real stories stories behind QC Kinetics. Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. Alan is back to work, now climbing ladders like no big deal. All real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start treatment, the sooner inflammation eases, and the sooner the joint damage slows down. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is absolutely free. Give them a call now at 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, it's all about the NBA trade deadline with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. And Wisconsin beer fans, the wait is almost over. Yuengling bottles and cans will be available starting March 3rd. That's right, America's oldest brewery will officially arrive in Wisconsin for the very first time. And we're celebrating big. Join us Tuesday, March 3rd from 3 to 5 at both Discount Liquor locations for a special in-store Yuengling sampling event. Be among the first in the state to raise a glass, taste this iconic beer, and see why fans across the country have loved Yuengling for generations. At Discount Liquor, we stock over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, spirits, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town. We're your one-stop shop for every occasion. Visit us in Milwaukee at 51st in Oklahoma or downtown Waukesha at Barstow in Maine. And don't miss our Yuengling in-store sampling event, Tuesday, March 3rd. Discount Liquor, where selection meets savings.
Discount Liquor.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks to Uncle Homer. We always enjoy her. I gotta be honest. I don't think. I thought you were too harsh on his betting paradigm for how confident you are in something happening. I kind of liked it. So if you have, if you can,
even more right.
Well,
that makes me feel better about my argument. Well. It doesn't make any sense. And listen, I give Homer a lot of credit. He has ideas. Some of them are really. No, I do. And this one, I know in his heart of hearts, he knows it's dumb because there's no odds. There's it doesn't make any. It doesn't give me any indication of where his. The whole point of doing these conversations is to say, "Boy, I am very confident," or "I take a flyer on that." But when you just it's so milquetoast. He's the opposite of milquetoast. He's nothing about milquetoast.
So
this idea is milquetoast.
I took it as you can bet up to $100 to win $100. So if I bet you $100 that something's going to happen, I'm very confident I'm going to win, and I'll leave with my 100 and your 100. If I'm only willing to bet 15, I'm not very confident I'm going to win the bet. I thought it was pretty straightforward. You got into odds and over-unders and everything
sliding
else.
Scale, and instead of saying I'm 100% confident, he's saying I'm 14% confident by trying to say $14. That's dumb. Just say I'm 14% confident.
I thought it was something
because nobody. If your $14 are in and you're not getting any payout back on it, but the $14, and you feel that's
what I'm willing to risk.
Nobody will make that wager. That's my point. That's why it's so moot. It doesn't make any sense. If you're getting for the Brewers to win the World Series or to get to the World Series against the Dodgers, you'd be heavy dogs. Oh, I'll put $15 on it. Well, no, you won't. Not unless you're getting some odds on it. You wouldn't. So that's why it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. So if you and I played pickleball at the Pickler with your bad knee and my inexperience, what kind of odds would I get of beating you, given the way you'd be lumbering around the court at this juncture?
I'd still beat you. You'd get very good odds. You get 10-1 probably, something like that.
Okay.
Or you could just put $10 down. You could just put $10 down, and if you pull off an upset, you get.
I win 100.
But if you don't, you burn your money. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, great. But I'll tell you what you want to do, and you want to form a community. You want to go start meeting new people. You want to move around more. Well, the Pickler is your spot. We have the great place up in Green Bay, and the Pickler Menominee Falls, right off of Appleton Avenue, is an indoor pickleball spot. Weather, no excuses. It's been cold. It's been windy. Well, it doesn't matter. It's built for everybody, beginners, former athletes, anyone that just wants to move more. They're offering free learn-to-play clinics every Monday and Saturday at noon. No experience, no gear. You're going to teach you everything you need. You're going to get that workout. You're going to meet people. You're going to get in a community, and you're going to go back for more. So much so, we have a West Allis location coming up soon. Stop in at the Pickler in Menominee Falls or contact the club directly starting online at thepickler.com. That's Pickler, Pickler.com.
The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all, because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep, now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now, and we'll begin a little bit of something that Brian Gutekunst said yesterday. Then we'll get the trivia, and then woo, Nelly, and we'll wrap things up. Yesterday, Gutey was in Indianapolis taking questions both from the media writ large at the Indiana Convention Center and in a smaller setting at a downtown hotel with Wisconsin-based reporters. And in his bigger setting, he was asked about the Packers' approach to roster building. Here is how Gutey answered that question.
We're always going to be a little bit of a draft and develop team, right? That's always going to be the bread and butter. I think the system is set up that way with the salary cap that that's the most advantageous way to build a football team. But every avenue is going to be exhausted to try to make our football team the best we can be. So I think we look at every situation, and how that affects our team. And if it makes sense to do that, we're going to do that. As far as the retention thing, I think, again, the salary cap kind of limits you. I think I've talked a lot about, league-wide, teams sign about 1.5 players from each draft class. That's usually the guys they retain. And I think the numbers just bear that out. But at the same time, your team's constantly evolving, and I think the biggest thing is you have to be honest with yourself about where your team is and what you need to do to move forward. Because every year is a different year. The teams that were really good this year, we may not be chasing those teams. It may be different. So you can't hone in too much on that. It's just more about you.
So here's the thing. They're a draft and develop team. When you say that league-wide, now he's dropped it from 1.6 apparently to 1.5 in terms of re-signing draft picks from each class to a second contract, that also factors in teams that are much more aggressive in free agency or draft poorly and move on from. If your bread and butter, which is the phrase he used, is draft and develop, the develop part is an important part of that. And you should most likely, if that's your philosophy, keep more than 1.5 players per draft if you're developing them properly. Am I wrong in thinking that way?
No, that doesn't equate.
Right.
You're getting on average 8 or 9 draft picks, more than likely in an average season with comp picks and whatnot. You're going to hit on 50%. So let's just call it 4, maybe 5 guys a year is the goal of what you're looking for. That will be contributors. And I don't know if Gutey is saying like big boy contracts or if you're talking about like a 2-year extension after those 4 years are up, if that counts in that 1.5. Because I think if you're talking big boy extensions, I would agree with Gutey. 1.5 Tucker Kraft. You're going to have Jordan Love. You're not going to have – every draft class is not going to yield a big boy contract. That's why I think you spread that out. But if you're going to do that, you need to retain more than 1.5 guys in a year because you're just that's asking too much of too many young players.
Draft and draft.
Where I think Gutey and what's been an interesting switch, and I've said this, and the John Runyon case was, I think, kind of the first that I noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Sean Ryan, Sean Ryan will be a really interesting case study. Josh Myers, they didn't pay him nothing in New York.
Correct.
And we're sitting here at a lefty snapper, 4th string, trying to go win a game in a playoff game. There's the I want to chase perfection, but in the NFL, building a roster, you're not going to have 53 perfect players. If you can have 8 game tilters, field tilters, top of those, 8 Pro Bowlers, 8 All-Pros, you have an awesome, unbelievable roster. You need to have other guys, like getting a B in an advanced calculus class, if you're not great at it, it ain't bad. I worked hard, I'm a steady Eddie, and you're going to have some guys that play at a C-plus level. You want all A performers. What I'm looking for are guys that can play at their best. And sometimes their best is going to be a B minus, a B. But if they consistently can do that, there is a value there. So I'd love some clarification from Gutey on that 1.5 number. But no doubt about it, it's very difficult to be a draft and develop team if you're only going to end up signing 1.4 or 1.5 guys to another contract. I'd argue you're not a draft and develop team. You're just a draft team because you've developed the 4 years and then that's it. Your best years should be 4, 5, 6, 7, not 1, 2, 3.
Your elevator years, that, regardless of how we feel about Homer's betting analogy, is the best of your many analogies. So yeah, you're draft and draft then. And we're looking at a draft class in 2025. Those guys have a combined over of 2022 They have over 200 combined starts, and most of them are going to go out the door. The guys that are free agents. Now, there are 3 guys from that class that are under contract for this year. Zach Tom, who got a big boy contract.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Watson, who got you're still on PUP, so we're going to get you at a discount.
Counts.
But it counts.
That's 2.
And then Devontae Wyatt, who's on his 5th-year option.
That doesn't count.
So those are the guys that are under contract. The rest of those guys are all free agents, and there's a good chance that they all are Arrivederci. So
Tucker Kraft's class. Who do we got in Tucker Kraft's class? Because that's a fun little exercise.
Yeah.
Of how many guys are you going to get to 2?
So, and I'm glad we're doing this because tomorrow I was going to ask you for some help on this. I have a showdown on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy tomorrow because I am a big Jaden Reed guy, and Gabe is not. And we're going to debate.
Gabe is not.
Yeah, and we're going to debate the idea of keeping and signing an extension with Jaden Reed. And he's a member of that draft class.
Jaden Reed needs to be one of those I'm getting you early guys, and if not, then I don't think he stays.
I agree. And that's exactly what I'm going to say, so we're on the same page. From the 2023 draft class, the players that are still on the roster today are as follows. Lucas Van Ness. Did you want to do yes or no on a big boy contract? How did you want to do this?
No, I just want this will be something we're going to go through. I just want to hear it, and then we'll examine it tomorrow. We can do this tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Lucas Van Ness, Luke Musgrave, Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, Colby Wooden, Dontavion Wicks, Carl Brooks, Carrington Valentine. That's eight players that are still under contract to the Green Bay Packers from the 2023 National Football League draft.
We got one guaranteed.
Yeah. That would be Tucker Kraft you're referring to.
And then there's, I think we're going to have that'd be a fun little game to play tomorrow.
Well, we'll play that game tomorrow. We're going to play trivia now, though. Jesse, it is Wednesday. We're a day behind on trivia. What's your plan here?
Oh, it's WIAC Wednesday. Where are you going to be tonight, Jesse?
WIAC
again?
I am excited to share with everyone that rather than a WIAC Wednesday game tonight, as we've had for the last 7 weeks,
it's Oregon trivia because the Badgers play at 10 o'clock in Oregon.
We are doing double WIAC Wisconsin Geography Wednesday in celebration of ESPN Wisconsin being home of the WIAC Tournament Championship game broadcasts on Friday and Saturday night. Women's tournament semifinals tonight. The championship Friday at 7 on the ESPN Wisconsin app. The men's tournament semifinals tomorrow night with the championship on Saturday on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We will be at both. Excited to bring them to you to cap our inaugural season broadcasting WIAC basketball around the state on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
So tonight we've got UW Whitewater at UW La Crosse and UW River Falls at UW Oshkosh. The winners of those games will face each other Friday night with Jesse Nelson on the call.
Correct. I'll be on the call for both of these games, Friday and Saturday.
What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're working a weekend? How many days off you got next week?
Don't worry about it.
And then the men's tournament, I don't have my bracket handy.
Yeah, we've got La Crosse and Stevens Point is one semifinal. Platteville and Whitewater is the other semifinal. So there are 6 teams remaining, or 6 schools remaining, I should say, between the men's and women's tournament. There are 6 trivia questions today for double WIAC Wisconsin Geography Wednesday.
Hey, Jesse, can you get the head of the WIA on our show?
Wait a minute. The high school? WIA?
Yeah. Yeah, I know the WIAC is different.
Sure.
You don't have to act like I'm an idiot. I know.
What?
But can you get the head of the WIA on our show?
Can I just interject and say we weren't thinking you were an idiot. We were just confused by the jump you were making.
Strange transition is all.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the jump I was making, I was thinking about a couple of other things, and I just wanted to see if we could get the head of the WIA.
Well, maybe.
What do you mean? Maybe?
Okay. We got to play trivia.
We do.
We could plan our WIAA guests coming up. Let's take caller 5 and caller 10 to play trivia.
I feel like you want to have the.
Why do you guys think wrestling sells out the Kohl Center the way it does on all of its? I'm fascinated.
A lot of wrestlers.
I don't.
I know, but it's fascinating to me.
We have 3 segments, and it's 11:30, and one of them is trivia.
Double trivia. Yeah.
Double trivia.
Sounds to me like the guy that's supposed to be handling pace needs to get the pace figured out.
I don't know what Chat GPT says about that, but I want caller 5 and caller 10 right now. Caller 5 and shut up. And caller 10, 844-770-3776. Caller 5 and caller 10 play trivia next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is tonight at 6:30 against the Nets on WMLW.
With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. And with a 10-year labor warranty, your windows and doors are worry-free for years to come. If something goes wrong, we're here to handle it because you work with the same team from start to finish.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 48 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Big news from Carbless, a fan favorite and one of my favorites. Blood Orange flavor is now its own dedicated 4-pack, crafted with real spirits for a true cocktail taste. Blood Orange brings bold, citrus-forward flavor with a smooth, premium finish. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. Now it's even easier to stock up on the flavor everyone keeps asking for. Look for Carbless Blood Orange 4-pack at your local retailer now. Once you try it, you'll understand why Blood Orange has earned its own pack. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip. Find it near you at drinkcarbless.com.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Time now for trivia presented by Cousins Subs and Iron Jock.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousins Subs. It's lobster season at Cousins Subs. Their lobster salad sub is fresh, flavorful, and only here for a limited time. Try it today.
Let us welcome in our contestants. First caller 5 is Dan in Brothertown. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Great to hear from you. And caller 10 is Chris in Cedarburg. Chris, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for asking. I'm pressed for time, though.
Couple of veterans
so
here.
Much as I enjoy both of you being loyal listeners and contestants, let's get started with the questions. Dan, question number 1 is this. In WIAC Wednesday, Wisconsin Geography Trivia, which of these cities is located closest to River Falls, Wisconsin? Dan, is it St. Paul, Minnesota, St. Francis, Wisconsin, or Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Boom. Correctamundo. Chris, question 1 for you is this. Which of these potential future homes of the Chicago Bears, nicely done, Jesse, is located closest to Platteville, Wisconsin? Is it Davenport, Iowa, Arlington Heights, Illinois, or Hammond, Indiana?
Davenport, because it's also a piece of furniture.
If that's your reasoning, I'm glad it worked out for you. I think that's also a couch or a sofa is a Davenport, right? Isn't that what my grandmother used to use that term? All right, Dan, question 2 for you.
Najee.
Pooped in a closet. Question 2, Dan. Longitudinally. Woo! Which of these Wisconsin cities is located west of Stevens Point? West of Stevens Point. Is it Antigo, Toma, or Markesan?
West of Stevens Point is Toma.
The old ball coach, 2 for 2. Chris, question 2 for you is this. My voice is struggling after all the woos. Latitudinally. Which of these Wisconsin cities is located north of Oshkosh? North of Oshkosh. Is it Ripon, Allenton, or Hortonville?
I don't even know where Hortonville is, but I know where Ripon and Allenton are, so I'm going to go with C.
I love it. Well played, sir. And Hortonville, also another name for a couch. Question 3, Dan. is this. The city of Whitewater is located near the southern portion of which of these natural landmarks? Is it located near the southern portion of Delavan Lake, Kettle Moraine State Forest, or Governor Dodge State Park?
I gotta go. I'm gonna go with Governor Dodge State Park.
I'm being told that the correct answer is Kettle Moraine State Forest. I would not have gotten that one right either.
Tough one.
Chris, opportunity to go 3 for 3 for you after Dan got question 3 wrong. The city of La Crosse is located near the western edge. Located near the western edge of which of these natural landmarks? This is tough, man. Is it located on the western edge of the Mississippi River, of Hickson Forest, or of Dave's Falls?
West of, you said?
That is what the western edge of which of these natural landmarks?
I'll just go, I know they're east of the Mississippi, so I'll go with the...
Hickson Forest is correct. I gotta be honest, never heard of Hickson Forest or Dave's Falls.
Big forest.
Ric Flaired it. Did you hear the Ric Flair?
I did. I heard it.
That was good.
I heard it.
Pretty good.
All right, so Chris, you got all 3 right. You've got 4 entries. Also, we'll call you tomorrow for that Thanalysis live read, and we'll have you do it because your Ric Flair is so... Can you do his signature phrase as well, or are you not as familiar with that?
I am as familiar with it, but I'm going to plead ignorant like you were accused of by Tausch the other day. So
limousine riding jet. Yeah, see, okay.
Limousine riding.
Good to have you on the team. Chris, good luck in the drawing on Friday. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
Dan, you got 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries. Say hi to Kayla and Rick for me. And how are the Phoenix doing? What do we got left in the season here?
We got 2 games left. We've clinched first place in the first round bye, so we have the number 1 seed. And by the way, the men are fighting for a 4th seed.
They are. They're turning things around, Dougie. Mm-hmm.
They have turned it around, baby.
What happens. Amazing what happens when you don't do a full-time other job as you the head coach. It's crazy how that works.
Has the last question before we let you go? Has Kayla criticized the officiating at all, or slammed the podium during a press conference like Doug Gottlieb did?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Okay,
and not
publicly anyway.
That was something. Good luck to them, and always good to hear from you, Dan. Thanks. We appreciate you.
All right. You bet. You guys take care.
That is Wilde Tausch trivia. I've never heard of Hickson Forest, so I learned something new today. Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah, 6 schools. We covered them all.
Where's Dave's Falls? Where's Dave Falls?
That's up in the Northeast. Beck and I go there usually like once a year in the summer. It's a good little hiking spot, good waterfalls, kind of close to where our cabin is north of Cribbets.
Romantic?
Yeah, it's a nice little spot. Yeah.
Very romantic.
I was at Dave's Falls when Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and talked about his immunized deal that afternoon and had no cell signal. And when I got back to the car, I opened my phone. I was like, whoo, glad I'm off today.
You're off a lot.
Dave's Falls.
We'll see if we can learn something new during Woo Nelly next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out.
And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks got back in the win column with a 128-117 win over the Miami Heat on Tuesday night. Kevin Porter Jr. played a huge role in the win, contributing 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Bobby Portis and Ryan Rollins also poured in 21 points apiece. Here's what head coach Doc Rivers had to say on his team's response coming off of a loss.
Because it's a big response for us. You know, this is what we haven't done this year. There were stretches where we could have gave in and we didn't. So I told him that after the game. I said, that's a gut kind of win for us. It was a good win.
It'll be a quick turnaround for the Bucks as they'll host the Cleveland Cavaliers at Pfizer Forum tonight.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Basketball fans, watch DME Academy on the campus of St. John's in Delafield this Saturday at 4 p.m. See high-flying Wisconsin recruit LaTravian Fenderson, 7-foot Gaten Waffo, and 6'10 Trev Rodemaker. This is elite high school hoops. Youth coaches bring your team to see DME Academy in the last home game of the year, honoring the seniors. This Saturday at 4 p.m. on the beautiful campus of St. John's in Delafield. Free admission for everyone. You will see slam dunks.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time now for a very abbreviated Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde Tausch.
Got a real good news, bad news situation here for Old T. Good news, Badger basketball game is on linear cable tonight on Big Ten Network. Bad news, it's a 10 p.m. Central Time tip for Wisconsin and Oregon. How much that game are you going to be able to see tonight with a 10 p.m. start?
Well, I think I'm going to be in Milwaukee, and I'm going to the Bucks.
That's
game.
right.
And
Yeah.
I think that game's at 6:30.
7 o'clock tonight, Bucks Heat. Bucks Cavs.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. That'll be done by 9:15. I'll get back. Yeah, I think I'll watch more of it than you'd think. More than you'd think.
I don't know if I'll watch much of it, but I will say this. I listened to 3.5 quarters of the Bucks win over the Miami Heat last night because friends of the program, Justin Garcia on the play-by-play and Gabe Neitzel on the color.
Wow.
That was fun. And those guys did great. They did a great job. Obviously, Dave Kane is very, very good at what he does. Was the voice of Virginia men's basketball when they won the national championship. But I thought JG and Gabe were terrific together. They got great chemistry. It was really fun to listen to two of my favorite people call the game. It was, and by the way, Tyler Hero is now like the Heat's sixth man. He's not starting. Bring him home. Bring him home after the season.
Wasn't that who we were going to trade for Giannis for, too?
Well, I don't know if I would make that trade straight up necessarily, but I'd love to see the pride of Whitnall High School, who did not play for the Badgers, went one and done at Kentucky, be part of the Bucks rotation in 2026-27. Whoa, Nelly.
Okay.
Whoa, Nelly.
Tausch, any fun plans for being at the Bucks game tonight? You've
who are you going with? Where are you sitting?
You've witnessed a proposal before, as we have the pictorial proof here.
Yeah, how are they doing, by the way? Have you checked in? Did they get married yet?
No, I have not.
That was a while back. I'd hope they got.
Did get invited to the wedding. So if I don't get invited to the wedding, I'm not checking in.
Last year you were on the Jumbotron helping throw T-shirts out to the fans.
Scalzi and I were sitting courtside for that infamous Oklahoma City thumping where I thought that was it for Giannis, and I still might be right because that was as dead and as bleh.
Yeah,
I don't know what I honestly don't know what I'm getting myself into tonight. What kind of? They had a good win last night.
Good win.
What's the vibe going to be tonight?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Cleveland on a back-to-back going to play their guys. I don't know. So what is my thought process tonight? I don't know. There you go.
Outstanding.
What a pregame.
And Ed Helms
sucks. What do you want me to do, lie? You want me to lie?
We don't want you to lie.
I don't know.
No.
Well, then, what do you like? I don't know. What do you guys think the game's going to look like?
Excited about doing in the game? Yeah.
Ask Chat GPT what you usually say when I say I don't know. Oh, great, good insight. Thanks a lot. Yeah, good. You don't know. Supposed to be an insider.
Well, I don't ask questions to you that I think you don't know.
You do ask a lot of questions. That's true. Thank you for your service.
What do you think our headline will be tomorrow when we start the show tomorrow?
How many dollars out of 100 would you bet that the Bucks will win tonight?
We ask you, what are you excited about at the Bucks game tonight? And your answer is, I don't know. You got nothing.
I don't know what kind of game I'm going to get. I don't know. Well, it's so hard to get your head wrapped around this. I'm going to a game. When you go to a game, you're excited about the game, right? I don't know what I'm getting. Giannis not going to play.
What to be excited about? You got pregame plans, postgame plans.
Are you in a suite where you could bring Jesse some leftovers?
Any fun and things planned to interact with the fans? Like, you're a celebrity. It's a big deal when you're going to a game.
Okay. You asked me what I'm going to a Bucks game. I'm going to watch
Jesse,
a Bucks
you pushed
game.
this too
I don't
far.
know who's playing. I don't know what I don't know any. I don't know any. There's more unknowns than there are knowns.
What are you going to eat
right now?
Quit pushing. I think we're done here. We'll wrap things up next.
We've been done before we started.
It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All the antics.
We had the same situation when I played with Holmgren.
You okay?
I almost broke my chair.
Yeah, you almost fell out of your chair there.
All the action.
Micah Parsons is healthy, and if Tucker Kraft is healthy, the Packers are in that Super Bowl. I think that they would have run through the NFC. I think they beat Seattle. I think that they are the NFC representative in that
game. The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And from now through March 8th, our listeners get 40% off all Iron Jock t-shirts and polos with the code SPRING40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
The Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, presented by Old Fashioned Golf, is back at the Mosh Performance Center in Franklin, March 13th through the 15th. The show has been reimagined with a simple goal: turn it into Wisconsin's ultimate golf party. That's why Vibes Golf Club, a group of golf-loving former Badger football players, including Melvin Gordon, will be at the show all 3 days. Plus, Bridgestone will be doing some ball fittings, and Carl's Place will be powering Simulator Alley. To learn more, log on to GreaterMilwaukeeGolfShow.com.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Marquette picked up its first road win of the season, knocking off Georgetown 76-60 out in Washington, D.C. The Golden Eagles were fueled by a big night from senior Ben Gold, who recorded his first career double-double with 10 points and 12 rebounds, anchoring the paint and controlling the glass.
Ben Gold, open three, around and in.
Great answer. Marquette pulled away in the second half and led by double figures late, all without sophomore star Royce Parham, who missed the game due to back stiffness. The 10-18 Golden Eagles now turn their focus to Sunday's matchup against DePaul back home at Fiserv Forum.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season.
Marquette picked up its first road win of the season, rolling past Georgetown 76-60 in Washington, D.C. The Golden Eagles opened up the second half with a big 15-7 run and led by as many as 13 points down the stretch. Freshman Nigel James Jr. led the charge with 20 points, marking the 9th time this season he scored 20 or more.
Now going to the basket, took on all 5 players. That was another Jordan. That was a Jordan.
Was that?
Drove, beat 4 players, and then launched and hammered.
Marquette improved to 10-18 overall and 5-12 in Big East play. They're back home Sunday afternoon to take on DePaul at Fiserv Forum.
This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Well, here we are again, late to get to poor Rich Eisen. I have so many more questions about what Tausch is excited about for tonight's Bucks-Cavs game, but we'll just wait to find out how much fun he had when he checks in with us tomorrow. We look forward to that.
Have fun. 10 p.m. Badger game. What a doubleheader tonight.
Stop pushing the buttons and let the man go. I don't think this is helping us. We're done. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks to Homer. Thanks to Bryan Bulaga. And thanks to you. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.